was there in Vasudev and they chanted. It was very ecstatic, and I was thinking, yeah, I got their association. I got to treat the both in class. I'm blessed.
Yeah, whenever I'm in kirtan with those guys, I even feel blessed. I feel like they're going light years ahead of where I was or we were when we were doing kirtan, which is kind of amazing. But yes, today is Ekadashi. It is the best day for all of us to be together. The best usage of our time and our morning, etc., etc., etc. So, of course, without further ado, Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So thank you for allowing me to be with all of you. Um, I'm so thankful that everything is cooperating this morning. Technology is cooperating. The weather is cooperating. As far as wherever we are, we're also cooperating. So I'm grateful to be cooperating with all of you during this most incredible month of Kartik. We had Purushottam Mas earlier in the year, and so as if that wasn't, one bonus enough, now we have Kartik. We have two bonuses in this year. I feel like how lucky are we? How incredibly fortunate are we to be in this place at this time? Of course, Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, but the one good thing that we have is the holy name. We also have the mercy of incredible Vaishnavas. We have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who only comes once in a day of Brahma, which is no small thing. Once in a day of Brahma is a really long time. So many Kali Yugas come and go. And yes, there is a Kali Yuga avatar, but it is not Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And imagine if we didn't have sweet Gaura Chandra. Imagine if we didn't have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where in the world would we be without the conviction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and that conviction that he then lends to so many incredible personalities? We'd be worse than lost. I don't even know what worse than lost is, but that's what we would be. We would be somewhere completely worse than lost. So as I was chanting the Mangala Charana and really kind of reflecting on the meaning of it, I was thinking, our gurus have opened our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, but where in the world would we be? We would be, is there a word worse than lost? Like, is there, does anybody know, like, what is worse than completely lost, aimless, bereft, all of the things? Is there a word that is worse than that? Anybody know? Bhima Prabhu, do you know?
I do, because I'm this way. Crazy. Pazza. In Italian, we say pazza.
Yeah, so we're getting some answers in unknown. We would be oblivious. We would be God knows where. So I feel incredibly grateful in this moment to even have this opportunity And it's an opportunity that I don't ever want to take for granted. So now that we are together during this Kartik Mas, on the day of Ekadashi, Ekadashi is a wonderful day in and of itself. She is such a beautiful goddess. But now we have Ekadashi during Kartik Mas. So let's see what the benefits are, because I love some great benefits. So let's see what the benefits are. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "O Janardhan, O protector of all beings, what is the name of the Ekadashi that comes during the dark fortnight, the Krishna Paksh of the month of Kartik, October, November? Please impart this sacred knowledge to me." And of course, as I've said before, how wonderful would it be to just be able to sit and ask Krishna again and again and again, "Will you tell me about this Ekadashi, or this special day, or tell me about the merits of this fast, or tell me about the merits of this special spiritual activity?" How wonderful would it be able to just sit with Krishna, ask him anything you want, anytime you want, and get such a wonderful answer, to be able to hear the rumble of Krishna's deep and grave voice. That voice which lends melody all of its wonderful attributes. That voice which is the basis of all poetry. That voice which gives thunder its gravity. Incredible. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna then spoke as follows: "O lion among kings, please listen as I narrate to you. The Ekadashi that occurs during the dark part of the month of Kartik is called Rama Ekadashi. It is most auspicious, for it at once eradicates the greatest sins and awards one the passage to the spiritual abode. I shall now narrate to you its history and glories. There once lived a famous king of the name Muchakunda, who was friendly to Lord Indra, the king of the heavenly planets, as well as with Yamaraj, Varuna, and Vibhishan, the pious brother of the demon Ravan. Muchakunda always spoke the truth and constantly rendered devotional service to me. Because he ruled according to religious principles, there were no disturbances in his kingdom. Muchakunda's daughter was named Chandrabhaga, after a sacred river, and the king gave her in marriage to Shobana, the son of Chandrasena. One day, Shobana visited his father-in-law's palace on the auspicious Ekadashi day. This visit made Shobana's wife Chandrabhaga quite anxious, for she knew that her husband was physically very weak and unable to bear the austerity of a day-long fast. So I was kind of wondering, I'll have to look this up, if this is the same Muchakunda that we find within Krishna book, who burns to ashes the demon Kaliyavan. But we'll see. I'll look that up a little later. So now Shobana is quite weak and unable to bear the austerity of a long day fast. She said to him, "My father is very strict about following Ekadashi. On Dashami, the day before Ekadashi, he strikes a large kettle drum and announces, 'Nobody should eat on Ekadashi, the sacred day of Sri Hari.'" When Shobana heard the sound of the kettle drum, he said to his wife, "Oh, beautiful one, what am I to do now? Please tell me how I can save my life and obey your father's strictness, and at the same time satisfy our guests." Chandrabhaga then spoke, "My dear husband, in my father's house, nobody, not even the elephants or horses, what to speak of consenting human beings, eats on Ekadashi. Indeed, none of the animals are given their ration of grains, leaves, or straw, or even water on Ekadashi, the sacred day of Sri Hari. So how can you escape fasting? My beloved husband, if you must eat something, then you should leave here at once. Now, with firm conviction, decide on what you have to do." Imagine if we lived in a state like that, like there was the state of New York. They make a proclamation that on the day of Ekadashi, nobody eats. Not even the owners are feeding their dogs as they're walking them on Ekadashi. Nobody does anything. It's a sacred day. Imagine. Prince Shobana then said, "I have decided to fast on the sacred Ekadashi day. Whatever my fate is, it will surely come to pass. Deciding thus, Shobana attempted to fast on this Ekadashi, but he became unbearably disturbed with excessive hunger and thirst. Eventually, the sun set in the west, and the arrival of the auspicious night made all the Vaishnavas very happy. O Yudhishthir, all the devotees enjoyed worshipping me, Sri Hari, and remained awake all throughout the night. But Prince Shobana that night became absolutely unbearable. Indeed, when the sun rose on that Dwadasi, Prince Shobana was dead. Oh my. King Muchakunda observed his son-in-law's funeral, ordering a large stack of wood be assembled for the fire, but he instructed his daughter Chandrabhaga not to join her husband on the funeral pyre. Thus, Chandrabhaga, after performing all the purificatory processes and procedures for honoring her deceased husband, continued to live in her father's house. Lord Sri Krishna continued, O best of the kings, Yudhishthir, even though Shobana died because of observing Rama Ekadashi, the merit that he accrued enabled him, after his death, to become the ruler of a kingdom high on the peak of Mandarachala mountain. This kingdom was like a city of the demigods, very lustrous, with unlimited jewels set in the walls of its buildings that gave off light. The pillars were made of rubies, and gold inlaid with diamonds shone everywhere. As King Shobana sat upon a throne beneath a pure white canopy, servants fanned him with yak-tail whisks or chamara fans. A stunning crown rested upon his head, beautiful earrings adorned his ears, a necklace graced his throat, and bejeweled armlets and bracelets encircled his arms. He was served by Gandharvas, the best of heavenly singers, and Apsaras, celestial dancers. Verily, he resembled a second Indra. One day, a Brahmin named Soma Sharma, who lived in Muchakunda's kingdom, happened upon Shobana's kingdom while traveling to various places of pilgrimage. The Brahmin saw Shobana in all his resplendent glory and thought he might be the son-in-law of his own king Muchakunda. When Shobana saw the Brahmin approaching, he immediately rose up from his seat and welcomed him. After Shobana had paid his respectful obeisances, he asked the Brahmin about his well-being and about the health and welfare of his, Shobana's father-in-law, and his wife and all the residents of the city. Soma Sharma then said, O king, all the residents and subjects are well in your father-in-law's kingdom, and Chandrabhaga and your other family members are also quite well. Peace and prosperity reign throughout the kingdom. But there is one thing I'm quite astonished to find. That is you here. Please tell me about yourself. No one has ever seen such a beautiful city as this. Kindly tell me how you obtained it. King Shobana then began to tell his story. Because I observed the Rama Ekadashi, I was given this splendid city to rule over. But for all of its grandeur, it is only temporary. I beg you to do something to correct this deficiency. You see, this is only an ephemeral city, a place of this material world. How may I make its beauties and glories permanent? Kindly reveal this to me by your own instructions. The Brahmin then asked, Why is this kingdom unstable? And how will it become stable? Please fully explain this to me, and I shall try to help you. Shobana then answered, Because I fasted on Rama Ekadashi without any faith, this kingdom is impermanent. Now hear how it can become permanent. Please return to Chandrabhaga, the beautiful daughter of King Muchakunda, and tell her what you have seen and understood about this place and about me. Surely, if you, a pure-hearted Brahmin, tell her this, my city will soon become permanent. Thus the Brahmin returned to his city and related the entire episode to Chandrabhaga, who was both surprised and overjoyed to hear this news of her husband. She said, Oh, Brahmin, is this a dream you have seen, or is it actually a factual thing? Soma Sharma the Brahmin replied, O princess, I have seen your late husband face to face in that wonderful kingdom. Seems like the late husband is not so late anymore. He's present. In that wonderful kingdom, which resembles a realm of the denizens of the heavens of playgrounds. But your former husband has asked me to relate to you that he says that his kingdom is unstable and could vanish into thin air at any moment. Therefore, he hopes you can find a way to make his kingdom permanent. Chandrabhaga then said, O sage among the Brahmins, please take me to that place where my husband resides at once, for I greatly desire to see him again. Surely I shall make his kingdom permanent, with the merit that I have acquired by fasting on every Ekadashi throughout my life. Please reunite us at once. It is said that one who reunites separated persons also obtains very great merit. The humble Brahmin, Soma Sharma, then led Chandrabhaga to Shobhana's effulgent kingdom. Before reaching it, however, they stopped at the foot of Mount Mandrachala, at the sacred ashram of sage Vamadev. Upon hearing their story, Vamadev chanted hymns from the Vedas and sprinkled holy water from his kamandalu upon Chandrabhaga. By the influence of that great rishi's rites, the merit she had accrued by fasting for so many Ekadasis made her body transcendental. Ecstatic, her eyes beaming in wonder, Chandrabhaga continued on her journey. When Shobhana saw his wife approaching him high on Mount Mandrachala, he was overwhelmed with joy and called out to her in great happiness and jubilation. After she arrived, he seated her on his left side, and she said to him, O dearest Patiguru, please listen as I tell you something that will benefit you greatly. Since I was 8 years old, I have fasted regularly and with faith on every Ekadashi. If I transfer to you all the merit I have accumulated, your kingdom will surely become permanent, and its prosperity will grow and grow until the coming of the great inundation. Lord Sri Krishna then continued to address Yudhishthir as follows. O Yudhishthir, in this way, Chandrabhaga, who was beautifully decorated with the finest ornaments and had an exquisitely transcendental body, at last enjoyed peace and happiness with her husband. By the potency of Rama Ekadashi, Shobhana found his kingdom on the peaks of Mount Mandrachala, able to fulfill all his desires and bestow upon him everlasting happiness, like that achieved from the transcendental Kamadhenu milk cow. O greatest of kings, I have thus narrated to you the glories of Rama Ekadashi that falls in the dark fortnight of the month of Kartik. Anyone who observes sacred Ekadashi during both the light and dark fortnight of each month is undoubtedly free from the reactions to the sin of even killing a Brahmin. One should not differentiate between the Ekadashis of the light and dark parts of the month. As we have seen, both can award pleasure in this world and liberate even the most sinful and fallen souls. Just as black cows and white cows give equally good quality milk, so the Ekadashis of the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha, and the light fortnight, Shukla or Gora Paksha, award the same high degree of merit and eventually liberate one from the repeated cycle of birth and death. Anyone who simply hears the narration of the glories of the sacred day of Rama Ekadashi is freed from all kinds of sin and attains the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. Thus ends the narration of the glories of the sacred Kartik Krishna Ekadashi or Rama Ekadashi from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana of Srila Krishna Dvaipayana Vedavyas. Shri Ekadashi Devi ki jai. How incredible! How wondrous! Shobhana and his wife Chandrabhaga were observing Ekadashi. Shobhana didn't even have faith about it, and he still followed it. And look at all of the amazing merits that he got. And then he had association. He had some wondrous association that was able to change his ephemeral and temporary city into something that was so permanent, and that was a wish fulfilling city, like a veritable Kamadhenu cow, of which we know a few. So Surabhi is one. The very famous Surabhi who bathes Krishna with her milk and begs Krishna, you are like our Indra. You have saved us from the wrath of Indra. You are maintaining and nourishing us. You are giving pleasure to all of the cows, and therefore, for the cows, you are our Indra, and you are therefore known as Govinda. This same Kamadhenu cow, Surabhi, was worshipping Krishna, coronating Krishna as king of the cows. And she was able to give anything to anyone at any time. Somehow, the same merit is obtained simply by fasting on Ekadashi. And now, we don't even have to be like in the kingdom of King Muchukunda, who is saying, don't eat anything, not even water, for no one on Ekadashi. Srila Prabhupada has made provisions for all of us. This is the glory of association. We hear within the beautiful Damodar Leela the power of association. Nalakuvara and Manigriva were the sons of Kuvera, and they were basically kind of living the life of like heavenly frat boys. They're kind of grandfathered in. Their father has all the wealth. They were getting drunk, having great jacuzzi baths in the heavenly planets, with all kinds of beautiful apsaras. And along comes Narada Muni, and they are naked as an MTV spring break way back in the day. And they don't even take the time to cover themselves up. And all of the apsaras and the ladies there realize that Narada Muni is there. They cover themselves, but Nalakuvara and Manigriva are too incredibly wasted to even figure it out. Narada gives them a blessing curse, right? A blessing of a curse. Srila Prabhupada says it's tree punishment. Narada Muni says, you enjoy being naked so much, may you become trees. Trees are always naked. Heat, cold, sun, rain, wind, shine, snow, sleet. Trees are always naked. It says, as you enjoy being naked, go ahead, become trees, no problem. Now, of course, this looks like a curse, but it is the biggest blessing. Narada Muni gives some of the biggest, most amazing blessings. In fact, this blessing is so incredible that we sing about it every day. O Lord Damodar, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in this same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. We have to be careful about the things that we're singing every day, but we've been singing about this every day. And so Nalakuvara and Manigriva were made into trees, but these trees were in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. Not only were they delivered from that curse of Narada, but they got special interaction with Krishna every day. It is said that Krishna would play hide and seek with his friends, and he would crawl behind these trees and hold on with his chubby little 3.5, 4-year-old arms. And he would look behind the trees to try and see if his family and friends could see him. And then he would hide back behind the trees. Sometimes he would crawl over and rest his back on the trees. These trees were his companions. How incredible is the curse of Sri Narada Muni? Narada Muni gives blessings in the forms of Krishna Katha. He gives curses that are in the forms of actual blessings. Because even though this Nalakuvara and Manigriva had done such offensive activities, and they were really kind of shameless about it, Narada Muni understood that as spirit souls, what do we really need? We need Krishna's mercy. We need the mercy of Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada came and gave the mercy of Vaishnavas to people who were completely undeserving. We had no idea what we were even missing out on. Everybody's just kind of wandering, searching, living life to the fullest, doing all kinds of whatever. I was thinking recently, what would my life be like? I would be miserable. I was speaking with His Holiness Bibi Govinda Maharaj when I was in Vrindavan last, and we had really come to the conclusion that we would probably be some sort of really frustrated activists. And it would be like trying to rearrange the chairs on the deck of the sinking Titanic. This place doesn't get better. And without Srimad Bhagavatam to let us know that not only does this place not get better, but this place has been worse, and then will seemingly get better and then get worse again, I'd be worse than lost. I'd be frustrated. I'd be depressed. I'd be beside myself with grief. I would be lost in the quicksand of the entangling web of this material world where atrocities are happening every day, every moment. Now we are dealing with the added benefit and curse of social media, right? Where now news is available at every moment, all the time, immediately. Whereas before, sages would have to glean this knowledge through so many different ways and then disseminate that knowledge to the population at large. Now we have the disembodied sage of social media, which tells us everything all at once, but that is draining. Our compassion is depleted. Our minds and hearts are depleted. We feel completely dragged through the modes of material nature. At every moment, there is a reason to feel depressed. At every moment, there's a reason to feel fearful and very much aggrieved. But it does help us to gain a fraction of the understanding of what made Advaita Acharya want to go to the banks of the Ganga and worship his shalagram and pray for the advent of the Lord every day. What we are feeling is simply a fraction of what those great souls felt that spurred them to go and pray for the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead upon the entire earth. It is simply a minute fraction of what the earth felt when she said, "My back is breaking. I am being overrun. Oh, my Lord, help." When she goes to Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes in the form of a cow. Can we imagine the incredible heartbreaking despondency that was felt by all of these incredible personalities? Yes, social media is curse and blessing, because without blessing of the sage of social media, we would not be having this confluence of Krishna Katha here today. So we can make the best use of a bad bargain. And so Nalakuvara and Manigriva got the best use of their curse. They were trees that had Krishna wrapping his arms around them. I was just reading yesterday, and Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking in the 8th canto, after Vamanadev has won back all of the heavens from Bali Maharaj. It says that Indra, who was then protected by the arms of Vamanadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was reinstated within his position in full opulence. He was fearless. He was completely surrendered and fully satisfied. That is what comes from the protection of the arms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I was thinking, just imagine then being embraced by the two strong arms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is an honor that has been had by the gopis of Brajdam, but also by the trees. These two Yamala Arjun trees, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, were embraced by the sweet, chubby little 3.5, 4-year-old arms of little Damodar. He would seek protection from them. Hide me so that I can have my pastimes with my family and friends. How many of us would just yearn to even be a tree in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj? We'll take it. This is a blessing. Narada Muni also gives very interesting blessings. I heard from one acharya, the sweetest thing that I'll tell you all. So once Narada Muni was traveling and he saw a very old man in his 80s playing with a little child. And he looked at the old man and he said, this old man is incredibly sinful. But somewhere on him is the glimmer, the hidden effulgence of Bhakti Yoga. You see, Bhakti Devi never leaves us. Once we have participated in Bhakti Yoga and have done devotional service, the stain of Bhakti never leaves us. If we commit offenses, Bhakti Devi will hide herself. She will cover herself. It never completely leaves us. That stain never completely gets off of our souls. Good news for us, because now we've all been stained by Bhakti Yoga, by Bhakti Devi. She has placed her handprint upon all of our lives, and no matter what we do, that stain will never completely leave, even if it's hidden. Somewhere there's a glimmer in there. And so Narada Muni saw that there was a glimmer of the stain of Bhakti Devi upon this person's life. He said, it can always be resurrected, this Bhakti Yoga. Let me go speak to this personality. He said, oh, my dear sir, what is your name? This person said, my name is Ajamil. Narada Muni said, oh, what a beautiful child you have. Never before have I seen such a beautifully resplendent child. Look how curly his hair is. Look how sweet and chubby his face is. What a beautiful celestial child you have. I haven't seen children like this even in the heavens. Ajamil thought, this person is praising my child so much. Let me give them some respect. Oh, great sage, please have a seat. Let me offer you some refreshments. Oh, honorable guest, what can I do for you? And so Ajamil, even though he was sinful and 88 at this point, he was giving some honor to Narada Muni just because Narada Muni was praising his son. Narada Muni said, I don't want anything, but just looking at this child has made me so happy. I want to give you a blessing, but I shouldn't. I should be on my way. I'm running out of time. Ajamil said, no, please, give me a blessing. Narada Muni said, well, your child is so beautiful that I want to give him a name, but I shouldn't, because even if I do give him some name, you'll just call him whatever else you want, and then it'll be an offense to my blessing. Ajamil said, no, because you have made me so happy today, I promise you, whatever name you give to my son, I promise I will call him that from this day forward. We can see where this story is going, yes? Narada Muni says, this child is so dear that I want to give him a name that is also very dear to my heart. From this day on, you should call your son Narayan. And so from that day on, Ajamil was calling his little son Narayan. And he would call him so sweetly, oh, Narayan, please come and play with your father. He didn't want anything from the child. He just wanted to protect him. He just wanted to play with him. So then, the sages say that when the Yamadutas come and Ajamil sees these fearful personalities, he calls out, oh, Narayan, Narayan, not because he was afraid for himself, but because little Narayan was playing in the courtyard, and he was afraid that these personalities were going to do harm to his son. So he was calling, get Narayan, save Narayan. And Lord Narayan heard, and he said, oh, someone is calling me with such affection, such parental love, trying to protect me. It must be my devotee. Oh, Vishnu Dudas, go and protect this person immediately. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Narayana has 4 syllables. Narayana. And so he dispatched 4 Vishnu Dudas, 1 for every syllable of the name of Narayana. How incredible. How beautiful. How wonderful is the association of Vaishnavas, that they can see through all of our nonsense to see that somewhere there is the stain of Bhakti Devi upon this person's life, and it can be resurrected again. Saintly people have hope for us. Saintly people have hope that no matter how terrible this place gets, Bhakti Devi can still reign supreme. Somewhere, somehow, even if it is just in the life of one person, Bhakti Devi can still reign supreme. How beautiful is the example of Narada Muni. He saw past all of the faults and sins, all of the things that Ajamil had done, and he said, but he did something. Bhakti Devi is on the call also. So he said he has done something even in his youth. So the things that we've done in our lives, the very good things, do not go unnoticed. They never go forgotten. There will always be a great soul willing to look past all of our faults and see the most amazing blessings that can still occur in our lives. And those great souls give us the opportunity to claw our way back from wherever we have fallen, wherever we have been lost. Srila Prabhupada gave us the opportunity to claw our way back so that maybe one day my parents could have a child who would say, like Chandrabhaga, I have been fasting for Ekadashi my entire life. My own child has been fasting for Ekadashi her entire life. Who knows what amazing things and what amazing merits we could give simply by fasting on Ekadashi our entire lives. I will end with one small story about when life gives you lemons. Once there was Raghava Pandit, who was a great associate of Sri Nityananda Ram. And Sri Nityananda was staying at the house of Raghava Pandit, and at that house of Raghava Pandit, they bathed Sri Nityananda Ram. They made an entire abhishek. They poured beautiful water over his wonderful, gloriously head, and his beautiful dark hair was drenched with all of this water and so many ghee and milk and so many items. After they bathed him, Nityananda Prabhu said to Raghava Pandit, "Oh Raghava, go and make me a garland of kadamba flowers. I love kadamba flowers. Their scent is intoxicating. In fact, I always love to stay in a forest of kadamba flowers. This is my favorite flower. Make me a garland." Raghava said, "Oh Prabhu, the problem is I don't have any kadamba flower trees, and kadamba flowers are not in season right now." Nitai said, "Go look in your garden, see if there's something there." Raghava Pandit said, "I already know what's there. I don't have anything but lemon trees in this garden. I said, go look again. Maybe you'll find 2 or 4 flowers, just some few flowers." Raghava Pandit, with full faith in Sri Nityananda Ram, said, "Okay, I'll look." And as he went to his courtyard, there, on a lemon tree, was blooming groves upon groves of kadamba flowers on a lemon tree. So when life gives you lemons, yes, when life gives you lemons, we make the best use of a bad bargain. However, when life gives you lemons and a lemon tree, Nityananda Prabhu will make kadamba flowers sprout on it. Kadamba flowers that are not even in season. The most miraculous kadamba flowers. Their scent was the most intoxicating thing anyone had ever smelled. It filled and permeated not just the courtyard, but the whole house of Raghava Pandit. He made a beautiful kadamba flower garland for Lord Nityananda Ram and placed it around his neck. And Sri Nityananda Ram began to do kirtan and he began to dance. So when life gives us lemons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives us miracles. We don't just have to make lemonade. We can make kadamba flower garlands on the strength of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, On the strength of Adi Guru, when our gurus enter into our lives, miracles beyond our wildest imaginations can occur. This is the glory of Ekadashi. This is the glory of devotee association. This is the glory of Kartik Mas. This is the glory of Narada Muni's blessings that we can all gather here today, malechas as we were, and somehow chant the holy name. And that is astounding. It is astonishing to even the denizens in heaven. They want to come and see who are these people that have taken to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May our devotional service be spoken about for time immemorial, for yugas and yugas to come. May they speak about this movement that Srila Prabhupada has made. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ekadashi Devi ki jai, Kartik Mas ki jai.
Yeah, this is not a curse, this is a blessing. Or a curse. For a devotee, it doesn't matter. Right? Okay. Would anyone like to share anything? A reflection, a question, a comment? Anything? Adi?
Hare Krishna, Krishna's empowering you with marvelous description. And Krishna is so wonderful that he's giving us these opportunities for purification, like Ekadashi. I get a little confused, though, hearing that our motivation for participating in Ekadashi fast will be some kind of benefit. You'll get a big kingdom with lots of jeweled columns, and you'll get a beautiful this and a beautiful that. We're here, Srila Prabhupada say that what we really want is not all these merits and benefits and blessings, but we hope that we can become engaged in pure devotional service, so our Ekadashi helps us to come closer to that, to control our senses, and we do it as an offering to Krishna. And we don't just do it to get merit or blessings or a big kingdom. But I'm sure you can comment on that and agree with what we're trying to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've heard before, Garga Samhita states that all of the gopis, they run to Radharani and they ask, how did you make Krishna so subservient to you? And she says, all we must do is follow the vow of Ekadashi, and Krishna is yours. So yes, absolutely. Our motivation should be to get Krishna. However, if by chance there are some other hidden motivations, it says that, liberation stands at the doorstep of the devotee as a mere byproduct. Mukti Devi has been pushed aside by Vaishnavas because they don't want Mukti, right? Mukti Devi has been pushed aside by the Vaishnavas. She stands cowering in a corner from the effulgence of Bhakti Devi, which is so bright. But still, she stands waiting at the doorstep of a Vaishnav just to try and have the association of Bhakti Devi. So it's a byproduct. So yes, these things happen anyway, because when we're trying to do our devotional service, then we run into the problem. If we had nothing, we would tell the Lord, oh my Lord, I'm just trying to do devotional service just for you. And I need money and all of these things to keep body and soul together. I need a house in order to live so that I can not die on the streets in the cold in the New York winters. I need clothes and this and that. And so the Lord says, I give it to you all as a byproduct. And then we turn around and we say, oh Lord, why'd you give me this? I don't want this. So when our renunciation is absolutely coming from the heart and our renunciation motives are pure, Krishna still gives it to us anyway. Look at Sudama. He gives Sudama, who is the greatest renunciate. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says he gives him all of that wealth so that he does not become proud of his renunciation. He sees that there's a glimmer of pride in that renunciation, and to take away that last bit of pride, he gives him all the wealth. And he says, now take this wealth as an offering. Take this wealth as my direct instruction. So sometimes we have to be wealthy as a service. Somebody's got to do the service.
Okay, Darshan time, turn on your camera.
Jai.
Push most of the baby away. By the way, yeah, so beautiful. Wow. We're going to down the flowers.
Jai, yeah, right?
I'm trying.
Don't have to change anything. Just point the phone.
I can't hear you.
Point the phone at Krishna. Yes.
Oh, yes.
My God.
This is the true meaning of the material world. It's a perverted reflection.
Yeah. Krishna's not upside down. We are.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Hey, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Aditi, for the deep breath. Thank you, Ashura, for the wonderful play. Okay, we can take one reflection, one question. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I really like how Arjuni's story, how Krishna stands forward, representing it, one for each syllable. Even one syllable gets you a Vishnu Dut. And Vishnu Dut is someone like Ganesham Prabhu, Arjuna Bandhu Prabhu, or the saintly personalities that are coming to us when we need them. So how wonderful is Krishna then? That's such wonderful servant. Even one syllable is sufficient. Thank you, Shri. That is very inspiring. It's very nice seeing you all, Ganesha, Sydney, Amita Kishori, Leela, Sundarananda Ji, Poppy, Mangi, Yogeshwari, Preeti Chaturvedi. Should I chant those names in meter? Suzanne, thank you, Holland. Praise Vimada, Hare Krishna Radharani. Hare Krishna. It just gives me so much pleasure reciting those names and seeing those bright faces and beyond the blue. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I should go. Thank